Hey guys, how you doing? Welcome to another Sunday night live stream into the Toybox. We've got a good show for you guys tonight. I think you guys will really dig it. And so we've got a ton of pictures to show, and so I'm going to go ahead and bring out the co-host, Beta Ray Bob.
Hello. How's everybody doing?
Yes. How are you doing, Bob?
I'm doing pretty good. A nice low-key weekend to kind of just chill out and relax.
Yeah, I love those. All right, well, hey, we're gonna go ahead and bring out the guests. We've got two good ones tonight. We're gonna go ahead and bring out Starboy Station. Hey Joel, how are you?
Hello. I'm doing good. How are you guys?
Good. Doing good. And so we're going ahead and bring out our next guest, and that'll be Van. Hey. How are you doing?
Hello, everyone.
Hello. Welcome to the show.
Yes.
Thank you for having us.
Yeah, well, thanks for being on. We appreciate it. So this pretty much is going to be the I guess the origin of Figtober, the Figtober challenge for October. Let me go ahead and bring this out. Okay, and Bob, I'm going to bring me down there, or if you want to move me around.
I'll get everybody situated here.
Hold on, let me. Okay. There we go. Okay. So we're just going to get right into these pictures in a second. But first, I guess we have an award-winning guest on tonight. So winner of the Mayor's Award for Emerging Artist, right?
That is right. Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Oh, well, congrats for that. So I guess tell us how you went into art, I guess. How did that come to be?
Wow. I don't know if there was ever anything else possible. I'm trying to think of anything else I would have been interested in. And from as long as I can remember, I was always doodling on either paper or the walls or my face with my grandma's stamp collection, her stamp pads. I like to create. I think Star Wars was a big part of it. Of you see something and you're like, I want to do that. Like I love drawing Darth Vader, except for I hated coloring Darth Vader because he's all black, and so you do all the detail work and then you color it and it couldn't see anything. I think, growing up with my dad who's very creative, I think there was no alternative for me, and just something that I was always interested in and continue to pursue to this day.
Well, you guys are both talented in your fields for sure. So, okay, Bob, do you want to, I guess, hit the chat before we get into the pictures?
Yeah. Okay. Let's do that. Got Bjorn here.
Bjorn.
The Schmibby Lock. Got some guy named Joel, hoping we have some decent guests. I would have to say we've got some awesome guests.
Yeah, exactly.
Defiant Outer Rim Station is here with us. Hopefully things are getting back to normal for you, as he's in a little south in Florida.
Yep.
Ian Sweeney is here. Aloha.
Ian, hey, thanks for staying up.
Got MCR.
Some Space Invaders, nice.
And that would congratulations from MCR on your award. There's some welcome vans.
Hello, everyone. Big fans of all the people in the chat. I follow all of them through my station account, so it's awesome to see them pop up, see their names pop up.
Oh.
So I guess
Bjorn got to meet a Power Ranger earlier today. You'll have to let us know which one.
Yes, for sure. So how did I guess let me hear you explain how you convinced your dad to do 31 customs for the month of October.
Wow, talk about a challenge like blowing up in the face. I as like an opportunity to be like, look, what I'm about to undertake is like takes a lot of time, and it drives me crazy. And by the end of the month, I'm like ready to be done. He just totally destroyed it and knocked out of the park, and had time to make extra. Like it was barely a challenge for him. It all started because with Inktober on the horizon, I was hesitant to sign up for any more boothing events, like specific art events for the year, because I wanted to have that extra time to work on Inktober. Usually need to start in September to just even get a head start, just because it takes me so long. And once you start, you kind of don't want to stop. You want to make sure that you can hit that finish line. And so in my trying to explain, I'm going to be busy, this is what I'm working on, the way I make my art is I sketch it and then I go over it with pencils on a separate piece of paper, and then I paint the colored pencil version. So I pretty much told them by the end of it, I do 93 pages of work.
Right.
So I was like, well, maybe you can try to do 31 figs per October and join in on the challenge, thinking it would be a challenge. Little did I know that it would be absolutely demolished, and he would rock it. So yeah, he nailed it. That's kind of the origin of it. It was like trying to slam him down and be like, hey, I'm in the trenches. Where are you? Little did I know he was the general of it all. So
yeah, he definitely killed it for sure.
Plus, he was giving me a lot of crap for buying like Fortnite figures. He's like, "You're never going to use these," and he also used the words "fire hazard." It has too much stuff. It's a fire hazard. So he did give the sanitized version of the origin story there.
My as I get older, I get more worried about stuff like that, which is silly. But
well, I guess he suckered a bunch of us to join him too. So I don't know. It's like it was fun, but it was like I was rethinking my life at certain points. Because I was like, okay, all right. I know I could probably hammer out 10, 15, maybe, I guess, and so I'm like 31. And once I said, yeah, I'll do it. I'll do it with you, Joel. I'm like, I pretty much had to I had to do it at that point in time, and so I was like, well, there may be a lot of lame old figures that I post, just a head swap or something. I was like, but I'll for sure try to do that. But well, I tell you, when October 31st got here, I was like, okay, I am taking a break for a little bit because I am worn out, and I was telling Bob, I was like, it's like, I don't want to sound, like that was really, like, I don't know, like, I guess I was a wuss for just putting together 31 custom action figures or something. But I'm like, man, it's like when you're sitting here thinking about what you're going to do and you want to make sure that it looks decent and all this stuff, it's like, it kind of like, turns into, its own thing. And so anyway, I'm glad I did it. I had fun. I learned a little bit, about some stuff. And also, clearly, there was several of us that have a shitload of figures we've all with. So, I'm like, I was telling him, I was like, I probably wouldn't even made some of these customs if not for this. So it's like, it's probably a good thing just to clear out some of these figures for a while, just to get them moving and stuff, but anyway, yeah.
Well, exactly. I mean, you don't even have to go in. Obviously, you want to do your best, but you don't have to go in thinking, oh, I'm going to have 31 absolute masterpieces. But at the end of the day, you're going to have, anywhere from, 1 to 31 that you absolutely love.
Right.
That even if some of the other ones were like, I kind of not phoned it in, but this one took less effort than other ones, you're going to have that one that really sparks your interest, and you wouldn't have known about it had you not attempted the challenge.
That's exactly right. Like I've definitely got a handful that I think that they'll be like regular characters and having they'll have a regular appearance, when I'm taking pictures of Yamato 6. So yeah, it was fun, and like I said, I'm glad we did it. I'm a little bit hesitant, I was like, hey, I'm saying I can't wait to next year, but I'm also like, yeah, I'm gonna start planning way before September next year. It's like it's gonna be a long thinking process for that, and we're gonna push it earlier than what we did last year because it's a lot. It's like not everybody has just a crap ton of figures that they can customize and stuff. But I think it'll be just as fun next year as well. So hopefully we can make this a thing, and have fun with it.
I think for being so short notice, with so many of the entries, you wouldn't have known. There's so much good stuff. Like I'm really glad that you said suckered, but I'm glad that more of you got involved because it became sort of an exciting ritual every day to look through and see who was participating, who what the next character was. Did it relate to the past character? Is it completely insane? I was really grateful that more people were interested because then I got to enjoy more cool pictures of cool figs.
Right. And before we get into the pictures, I'll just go ahead and say I'm going to go ahead and just speak to the chat, and then whoever's watching maybe after the show is over. If you want to send in 5 Figtober customs that you really liked, send them to my Instagram. Just message me on Instagram and send me 5. I had a couple of people send some to me last week, but I'm wanting this next week is going to be the end of Figtober pictures. So if you want to see something on the big screen here, send them to me. Just if you want to, so just giving you the opportunity. Yeah. I'm going to put it up at the end of this stream, and then I'll probably mention it sometime on Instagram this week before Sunday. But please, if you want to see, 5 of your favorites, they can be yours, they can be other people's, just it doesn't matter. Just send me 5, and we'll show them off next week. But we'll get into the pictures now. And so these are in no particular order, Van. I was, there was a lot of pictures, and so I was just trying to throw them on there as quick as I could. And if you want to speak to any of them, feel free. But first, I got to ask. So how did you determine that you wanted to go? I guess this is the Damned Orchestra. Is that what it is?
Mm-hmm.
What made you just choose that direction, I guess?
So the idea overall is Inktober, but the specific prompt list that I use is created by a guy named Craig Gleason on Instagram, and he has what is called the Bad Guys Club. It's all original characters that he has created based on his own prompts. And I'm a huge fan of his art. Ever since I got onto Instagram, he was one of the first artists that I followed. And since then, I've been heavily inspired. And so I can't even remember what year it was. I had done the Damned Orchestra prior. It was the only time I ever finished it prior to last year's. Done all 31 days. It was, I can't remember when that was. I'd have to look. 2016, maybe 2017. It was close after I had graduated high school. But while I was in high school, I was a library aide, and I would just look at books all day for that certain period. And there was one book. I wish my shelf's across the room. I wish I had it on hand, but I found this book, and it was so, I don't know, just tantalizing. I'm not musical in any way, but I love how instruments look visually. I think that there's an art form to it. And I found this book called the Orchestra Symphony. And it was just this breakdown of all the different instruments. And I love this book so much that I went out and found my own copy of it used off of like Amazon used books or something. I think my girlfriend's going to look for it for me. But for whatever reason, I just wanted to match those two ideas, the idea of this bad guys club and these instruments, and thus the idea of the damned orchestra came to me. Thank you so much. This is the book. Symphony Orchestra.
Hold on. Okay. What was the name of the artist you said you were following?
Craig Gleason.
Okay.
He let's see. I also had one of his books. He kickstarted a book and has his characters. Okay. So I love this book because it goes through his art through the ages, and you can just see as it developed over time.
Oh, nice.
So I mean, even from this, you can see like what a huge influence that style is on my own work.
Yeah.
But the idea of the damned orchestra is that there's all these demons and ghouls and horrible bad guys that are torturers in hell, and once a year they get to play. They get to do something other than their evil bidding. They get to go and have a performance. And so that's sort of my lore of the damned orchestra.
Nice. I love art, and so I'm usually on my other Instagram. I usually follow like a lot of artists and stuff like that. And on this one, I pretty much just mostly do toys and stuff. But it's like I always like trying to find something, somebody that I haven't found. You know what I'm saying, to follow, just because I just love art, and I love seeing people's style. And so anyway, but I'll check him out.
Definitely do. His stuff is awesome, and if you go through his tags, like his tagged posts and stuff, you can see he shared artists from Inktober doing Bad Guys Club, and you can find a bunch of other people who did really, really awesome stuff. I tried to share some of it along the way, but the community that he's built, this was, I think, the 9th iteration, the 9th year of doing it. And so it's grown. It gets new people every year. It's really wonderful.
Yeah, I love that whole idea. I cannot draw a stick figure. Okay, it's like my art. I didn't get that. It's like I wish I could have, and I've attempted over the years, but it's like that's not my I guess thing to do. So anyway, but I love looking at it, and I guess that's probably why I've been in the comics for 40 years, just because I love people's different styles and stuff like that. But anyway, that's a cool idea. I was wondering the whole time where this idea came from for the damned orchestra, and it's awesome.
Thank you.
And this year's the band of Baphomet, is that correct?
Yeah. The idea is that I wanted to do a different color scheme than the one I did last year. And last year I didn't really have a theme, but the logo was kind of squiddy. And so I was thinking it was more of like a cosmic horror Lovecraftian sort of theme, more cosmic horror. And then this one was more demonic focused.
Gotcha.
We've got a question here from Bjorn. Is there any characters that you don't like to draw?
Wow. I'm trying to think of off the top of my head. I can't think of anything super specific, but with the damned or with the Bad Guys Club specifically, one of my least favorite prompts is the Hell Shriner prompt. That one I struggle with every year because it's hard to iterate on it. But this year I was happy with my version of that character. So if it pops up, I'll mention it. But yeah, that of the prompts.
I think we were talking about it, and I'm like, because he drew a car, and it's like, how many cars have you drawn in your life? It's not very many.
I know there's sort of like a slew of what kids like to draw. Kids like to draw dinosaurs, or some like to draw cars. I've grown up with a lot of kids that really love drawing vehicles and cars and such, like Lambos and all that. And I just never was into it. And so you can tell I'm a novice car artist whenever I do it, but it's fun. It's fun to try. It's a challenge for sure.
I drew cars in school too, but they were terrible. I could never get them to look like what they were supposed to look like in real life. And so anyway, I guess I went the way of spaceships, because you could make spaceships look like whatever.
It's hard to draw something wrong that doesn't exist.
Right. All right. So, you want to mention anything about this guy, or just go to the next one? Or
Yeah, I was excited for this prompt because it was wizard. And for anybody that follows my channel, or not channel, my profile, I love wizards. So
wizard, yeah. That's awesome. Yeah, man. It's like I tell you, like every one of these, there was like something that was like different about each one of them. I'm like, that is awesome.
Thank you. I appreciate it. With anytime I've done the damned orchestra, I always try to include a technician member because I used to work as a theater technician prior to starting. I did it in high school and I did it for right before I started college for a couple of years. So it was a big part of my life, and I'm still friends with a lot of technicians. So the show couldn't go on if they weren't involved. So that's why I always throw one of these guys in. And this one is fun to do the cables in sort of the like guts, like his guts are spilling out, but it's really just the sound cable.
Yeah, that is awesome. That's awesome. Yeah. So is this the majorette, I guess?
Yep.
Okay. Awesome.
And that's another one of like, once there's only so many instruments or so many instrumental variations that you can do, that I feel like it's kind of almost like a palate cleanser when you can throw in a non-instrumental character, like the important people in the orchestra overall, but like a majorette, a technician, a conductor, kind of to mix up that shape language of the instrumental stuff.
Well, I'm a huge fan of music anyway, and so I thought it was a cool choice that you went with the orchestra, and so like I said, I can't wait now to see what you do next year. So I can't wait.
Yeah, I'm excited to see what happens. I think I would like to do at least one more damned orchestra. I don't know if I want to keep doing it each year. Just to kind of savor how fun it is, but I think I'd like to do at least one more to then have like a trio of years of it all doing different colors and stuff. I was really happy with this guy. I'm recently, within like the last 4 or 5 years, I'm a big AVP guy now. I wasn't always, but so this is my little homage. So there's a little xenomorph in the dome, and then the skull is a predator, a Yautja skull.
I'm not gonna lie to you. I did not notice the alien until I just saw it on the screen there. So it's like that's pretty badass.
I didn't notice it the first day, and then I went and looked at it again. I'm like, oh wait, that's pretty awesome.
Yeah, I tried to hide a hint if you didn't see it right away. In the name for this one was an imperfect organism, so obviously not the perfect organism, and then it was LV927 instead of LV426.
Yeah, I love some. I think we all like some Aliens versus Predator, right?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So I guess for a lot of these guys, I guess that can wear a uniform or whatever. I love the fact that they're all like red and blue, or most of them are like blue. I like that aspect of them. But yeah, man, it's good stuff.
Thank you. Yeah, this year I was a lot smarter with it, and with having a shared color scheme. Every week I would flip. So the first week, like with this one, it showcases it where red, the dark red, is a major color, with the blue being the secondary color, and then each week I would flip it. So the blue would be the major color, and the red would be the secondary color. But it kind of helped me this year, because I would try to paint like all the uniforms before I then went in to do all the details, while I had paint on the palette. So it was a little bit smarter working.
So basically, when did you start this year?
I started sketching early September, and I pretty much had all of them sketched, and then the secondary sketch all done by halfway through September. But September got so busy for me. I was dog watching a lot and wasn't able to sit down at my desk and work as much as I wanted to. So I got really, really far ahead, and then time caught up to me. So my head start was very, very brief. Throughout October, I was pretty much only maybe half a week ahead, if that.
Yeah, I was
Those
going to say.
It happens.
I was going to say that seems like that could be almost a lot, putting a lot of staying up a lot of nights trying to get some stuff done potentially to make sure you get it all finished.
Oh yeah, definitely. It's helpful that my girlfriend is in school and is doing homework. So then I have an excuse to also do work,
Right.
and not feel like I'm ignoring spending time together or anything like that. It helps.
Yeah. When I started Figtober, I think I had like 15 of them that were not finished, but they were pretty much almost done, with maybe a tweak here, a tweak there. And I was like, oh, that'll be fine. It's like I'll have almost 2 weeks done, And so by the time the second week got here, I was like, okay, I need to start putting some more figures together, And anyway, I stayed ahead of the curve for most of the month. But man, I'll tell you, that last week I was basically like trying to figure out, okay, what figure am I going to do? And it's like I sort of had too many choices at that point in time. You know what I'm saying? And so I'm like, I need to like figure something out. But anyway, yeah.
Can you go back to that one real quick, Brian? I don't know if you guys noticed the bagpipes, but it's the Necronomicon from Evil Dead.
Oh my gosh, yeah, I just now noticed that. Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, a little not a little unorthodox in its presentation, but every time I have done any sort of Inktober, I have to throw Necronomicon into at least one of them.
Nice.
And every time I have to buy it. he knows how to get me.
Right.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Yeah, it's funny. It's like it's not that I haven't paid attention or anything, but it's like it seems like I'm noticing more things that I didn't notice the first time around, since it's right in front of me, and so yeah, this is awesome, man.
Thank you. I appreciate it. I like almost obsessively, I like just throwing in little details that it gives reason to maybe come back to look at stuff and like you're saying, find new stuff. This was one of the hardest ones for me because you wanted to go out strong on your 31st day. This was my 31st day. But then when the prompt was witch, I was like, man, that's that's both vague, but also like so specific that I don't know.
To me, man, it's so good. And people, they just, I guess, and I'm not going to say that we don't understand, but it's like, that is just such a hard thing to do, is to draw something like that. And then you've got to like, color it too. You know what I'm saying? It's like, it's one thing to pencil something out, what I'm saying, or maybe to ink it, but then to color it, what I'm saying? It's like, that's just another level that you've definitely mastered at this, man, because it's all the colors are great, on all these. And so, it's awesome. I know I keep saying awesome, but it is.
Okay, I have 2 questions for Van. One is about the skulls. So there's a skull in each one. Is there a story behind the skulls?
Yes. And Timbo, I'll show you real quick after I answer this question. The skulls last year, each character had an accompanying tiny demon that went with it, and I like that idea. But some of them worked better than others. Some took too much space on the page. Sometimes I had an idea for 4 of them, but not 20 of them. And so this year I wanted to do something in that realm where there was sort of a shared companion piece throughout all of them, but wasn't as big as like a full character. So yeah, each and I'm hoping to post it soon. I went through and I took pictures of all the skulls that were across the board.
Awesome.
But yeah, so each character has a skull, with the exception of the technician, who is a skull, so he doesn't need one with him. But yeah, that was the idea. I had done a skull just kind of as set dressing, so to speak, for the first couple, and then I'm like, I'm going to go back and I'm going to make sure each one has one, and have it try to be themed to the character. So like those are bottle skulls for that one, or like with the alien one, it was the predator skull.
Right.
One of the ones
The
I did
witch is
later
a
on
skull
was
microphone.
the skull microphone, because she's a scener. I don't know if you have a picture of it. I'm sure we'll see it down the line, but the one that I did, that was the prompt was kaiju. It's Godzilla's skull. So I tried to like throw in little hints here and there. And I feel like a skull was an easy way to do that.
That's awesome. This one's really good,
Before we
man.
get too far, let's not forget Timbo's question about advanced starts with pencils and then goes to ink, or
I even have my folder here. So in this folder is all the pencils of this year's Dand Orchestra. So here I'll pull up the one that we're talking about, the alien one. I'm just trying to see if I can. So it starts off.
Oh yeah, I see it.
Just base pencils, very messy. Not everything is sort of fully rendered. And then as you can see, I have this little, sorry, I forget how mirroring works. I have a little border. This is to make sure that no matter what I do at the end, it will fit on the scanner. So this is where it starts. You can see there's even little notes sometimes where it'll be like scoot to the side and move up or stuff like that. So that's where it starts as. It starts as a pencil. And then my MVP of my art setup is I have a light board. Mm-hmm. And so I throw the sketch on a light board. I bring in my watercolor paper, and then I do a better version of it in colored pencil, and then that one gets painted.
Okay. Awesome.
And then I paint, and then I ink at the very, very end. So all the black edges and stuff that comes at the very end. Because usually, as I've gotten better at painting using watercolor and gouache instead of marker, I used to use marker and pen. I'll do like this last year, I did a week. I would do 7 entries, and then I would ink them at the end of the week. Because I'm faster at inking in batches.
Yeah. I definitely love seeing the behind the scenes too. I mean, I like to see how everything gets made and how people do things, because it's very interesting.
I mean, I think that's what gets like. I mean, that's like my huge inspiration for art is, like, and as much as I love the Picassos and the Van Goghs, I'm a Ralph McQuarrie guy. You know what I mean? That's going back to your question of what inspired me is looking at art of Star Wars books, and or there's that infamous one that was a half indie, half Star Wars that started at both ends. That huge book for me as a kid. So yeah.
Yep. I think Star Wars was a big inspiration for a lot of people, for sure.
I think my favorite detail with that last Venus flytrap one is the it's a fly blowing the whistle on the inside. I thought.
Oh yeah,
that is awesome.
Yeah, sorry, you keep going. Good old cactus.
Can I tell a Ralph McQuarrie story real quick?
Sure.
When Van was like 1.5, we were drawing a bath for him, and he went and he took the Ralph McQuarrie book and he full speed ran in and threw it in the bathtub.
He threw what in the bathtub?
The book, the Ralph McQuarrie book. Threw it in the bathtub, and I dried that book out page by page, because this was like probably before Amazon was pretty prevalent. It was like a hard book to get, and I dried that thing out page by page, and I still have it. And it's like it's still on the bookshelf.
Nice.
Oh my goodness.
Oh yeah, I'm trying to get it. Yeah, I'm amazed that you took the time to do that. I was very, very grateful.
Yeah, yeah. Well, that's definitely a definite story about that book, right?
Mm-hmm.
I think about it every time.
Keep forever.
Yeah.
That's
I know. Awesome. I'm grateful. I'm trying to have it. See if I can get it found. Yeah, the very book to this day I still have it because he saved it.
But that's my book. Why do you have it?
Because I borrowed it because it's awesome. Yeah, you can see the water damage pages still.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is
It's in pretty good shape considering.
Considering
Right.
it was put in a bathtub almost over 20 years ago. So
this
is why we become artists, people, because of stuff like this.
That's just a well-used book at this point in time.
Yeah, exactly. It's a funny story.
So what is this exactly? Tell me what I'm looking at.
So this one the entry was Ghost.
Okay.
And so I randomly assign using dice which character is going to have an instrument, because I don't want to think too much. Like, obviously there are certain characters and certain instruments that would pair well together, but I feel like it's in the spirit of the challenge if you have to make something work. So it's never predetermined. It's always in the moment as it happens. Like right before I draw it, it's Ghost. Okay, what's an instrument? Big bell. Awesome. But there's so many versions of Ghosts. I really like bedsheet Ghosts. I think while they can be kind of whimsical, I think there's also like something really scary about them. And so that's what I went for with this one is some more of a bedsheet ghost that with this, it's kind of hard to see, but my intention was like he got shot in the face and it's leaking out and all that stuff, all the gruesome Halloween, scary, spooky stuff that you get every year.
So, how many of these did you try to include? I guess did you try to include like some kind of like, hidden Easter egg or something like that, or did you just do that with like a few of them?
Anyone that I could, I would try. I'm trying to think if I had any with this one. This one, I would say like I guess like it being a bedsheet ghost, or like the terms of death would be like an Easter egg of being like, oh, there's the smoking hole in the top and all that kind of stuff. The one I did last year, the ghost I did last year was also a bedsheet ghost, but it had the tent numbers that you would put like at a crime scene.
Okay.
Like they just pulled the sheet over someone.
Gotcha.
It was like a mafia hit or something. Like that was kind of the story. So I try to put like little things that I think are silly or whimsical into each drawing. It's sort of like a fun if you know kind of a thing.
Right.
Like with this one, I was just thinking about this one of like the skull is like a mafia skull because the prompt was monster, mobster. And so I wanted to put like the one between the eyes on the skull so you could kind of see the storyline of what happened there.
Yeah, I liked all the skulls and stuff on the bottoms of the page and stuff because I thought that was a cool little thing to do.
And then with this one too, the blue rose is it's a David Lynch reference. Anybody likes Twin Peaks or anything, the strange and mysterious supernatural cases they have they call blue rose cases.
Okay.
I have never watched Twin Peaks, but I'm a David Lynch fan. I just never watched that show. So
I highly recommend, especially because the Twin Peaks: The Return, the third season that came out 25 years later. I know some people don't like it as much. Obviously, nostalgia plays a huge factor and stuff like that. But him having the budget to tell the cinematography that he wanted to showcase, it's just unparalleled to what he was able to accomplish back in the old series. So I recommend watching.
We've got a question here from Defiant. Will there be prints or originals available?
Yes. All originals are always up for grabs. If anybody's interested, they can reach out to me. I'm not sure about prints at this time. I know there's a couple that people have shown interest in, but to me, sometimes I'd rather make a separate artwork that can then be turned into a print because there's 31 of these guys and I wouldn't want only a couple of them to feel left out if they didn't get to.
And so you have a Boba Fett and a Mandalorian print right now available? I
have the Boba Fett prints and
and then stickers of Boba Fett and Mandalorian Grogu.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay.
some small Star Wars prints. I'm still getting into the print game. I dabble. Oh yeah, this is the kaiju one that I was talking about.
It's
I do like the skull down at the bottom.
I'm trying to remember the name of this.
Yeah, this is based off of one. I changed it slightly. It normally only has one eye, but because of the placement of the hat, I didn't want to block it, so I added the 3 eyes instead of just the one.
So is this a Ultraman?
Oh man, let me look. It is Godzilla or
Yeah, I was gonna say I think it's Godzilla. I want to say
a lot of those
Gigan.
that's exactly. I think Bob. I think you're exactly right. I think it is
Yeah.
Gaiden. I'm not. Let me look at what my thing says. Yeah, Gigan. Gigan.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry, the lighting.
Up here.
White light never works.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, my little note. I'm not really big into Godzilla or King Kong or anything like that, but
well, this guy.
Awesome. That's awesome.
Oh yeah.
If you have any recommendations, I'd like to get into it a little bit. But I love the idea of the dudes in a suit versions. So when I saw the prompt of kaiju, I wanted to try to find one of the more like whimsical designs because obviously like the era kind of limited how crazy they could get, and obviously modern versions are a lot more intense. But I love how weird Gigan looks as a.
Oh yeah, the rubber suit era, like or what they call the Showa era. That was just that was the height of like what I watched as a kid. Yeah.
Nice, that's awesome.
I recommend the new Godzilla movie if you haven't seen it. It's awesome.
I did watch Godzilla -1.
Oh yeah.
And I thought that was really cool. That was sort of my first foray into it. And I'd seen like Khan Skull Island, and I like that one too.
Bob did like the most meta thing ever and went to Japan to watch Godzilla.
Well, that's not the only reason I went to Japan, but yeah, it was a rainy day. It was like my last day there. It was raining, and my hotel was like literally on top of the theater or a movie theater, and so I was just like, I got a few hours before the plane goes, and they're showing the movie here, so
that is awesome. That is an experience.
Oh yeah. Now, granted, I will say it made a lot more sense when I saw it again later with the subtitles.
Mm-hmm.
But you pick up on the general plot of it. I mean, it's a Godzilla movie. It's not like
right.
Monster mad, city destroyed.
Yes, exactly. I've got a question here from Ian. Have you ever tried starting with the instrument and creating someone to play it afterward? Like, I guess like go instrument first and.
Yeah, that's a great question. Recently, one of the series I had done just prior to doing the stand orchestra is I do Guitar Wizards. I did my second wave of Guitar Wizards, and that one I got a book called Guitars from the library to just kind of find some inspiration. And so with that one, I found 10 guitars or designs of guitars that I thought were really, really stunning, and I tried to match them with some of the character prompts that I had. For that wave, I did good versus evil, and so I would try to match up certain ones. In that book, it had Prince's cloud guitar, and so for my version, I did Prince's cloud guitar with the storm wizard because I thought that was applicable. So usually it's character and then try to incorporate the instrument. But for that one, I went in the reverse. Like Ian Sweeney was saying. Great question.
And there may be a figure and a painting coming up that you already teased. That's a Guitar Wizard.
Yes, there is. It's coming up. It's a little bit later, but yes. So what is it? Is this a turkey or something?
This is. Oh man, I wonder. It's a special type of bird. It's almost like an emu, but it's not. It's cassowary. The prompt was jailbird. All the prompts usually have like the cat is alley cat. It's
right.
The intention is draw a cat, draw a bird, whatever, but it adds that flair. I look up whenever it's like an animal prompt. I just look up ugly birds crazy looking birds. In a cassowary, if anybody wants to look it up, they're really kind of gorgeous, but they're also kind of scary looking. So that was a huge inspiration for this guy.
Ooh.
Stone, is this like a rock or like a monument, or what is
so the prompt was blockhead, so it's always like head made of stone or some kind of stone. This is a gargoyle.
okay.
So I wanted it to look like one of those cathedral gargoyles. So I try to add like a little bit of like the roofing detail on the bottom. Water's getting caught in, rainwater's caught in the side, and
nice.
There's bird poop on them. Little silly details like that.
Yeah, that's nice details. Okay, this guy's pretty cool, man. It's like this was one of my favorite. This was one of my favorites right here, because it just man, it looked like it exists. It should exist. You know what I'm saying?
That's awesome. Thank you. This is one of my favorite ones to do each year. Going back to Craig Gleason, I'll hold up the book again. He has a character called the Moon Goon. It's a moon-headed guy. One of the most iconic characters, like sort of in his lineup. And so every time I try to undertake it, I try to do a spin on it. So the skull for this one was the normal moon goon. And then I try to do like this one was like a crescent moon head. Try to find ways to sort of adapt on his original idea. Last year I did Blood Moon, and it was sort of a moon with sort of red clouds kind of surrounding him. One of my favorite prompts. I think the Moon Goon is such a cool character idea.
Well, this one to me, this would be, I would say, this would be definitely in like my top 5 of yours that you did this month for sure.
Hey, rad. That's awesome. I'm glad you like. I wanted to add the drum is sort of inspired by the Voyager satellite that got sent out. I wanted to write a Voyager on it, but I couldn't kind of find room for it. But that's sort of the inspiration for the drum set. If anybody's familiar with the sort of gold wrapped Voyager showed up, that got sent out.
Is the Voyager the one that has the music disc?
I think it might be that has the golden record.
Gold music disc. Yeah.
If anybody wants to learn about something cool, look up Golden Record. It's a record of songs that they sent into space with the chance that if intelligent life was to find this shuttle, or the satellite, they would see what humans were about, creativity and music and all that kind of stuff. It's really kind of gorgeous.
Yeah, this is awesome. My son is a drummer, and so I was kind of like, this one was one of them I really liked, and the other one though was the one I really liked the most. But hey, Rad, thanks for coming out, and definitely yes, thanks for smash the like button, please, so we can keep the lights on. We can keep doing this.
Another question from Ian here before we get too deep into the next one. Have you tried tapping into some medieval instruments?
I have.
The hurdy-gurdy.
The hurdy-gurdy, such an awesome instrument. Love it. If you're interested, Ian, on my Instagram, further down, back before I had any followers, really, when I was first trying to build up my new art account, I did a series of 10 called Funky Dungeoneers, and it was all Dungeons and Dragons inspired. And all 10 of those use medieval instruments to kind of fit in that fantasy theme. So I believe one of them has a hurdy-gurdy. I think it might be the Mind Flayer, just off the top of my head. But yeah, hurdy-gurdy is awesome. I'd love to do another fantasy medieval run, because there's a lot of really cool historical instruments from across the world. So,
and I know probably a few of you guys probably do follow Van, but give him a follow if you're not on Instagram, and it's artwork of Van Williamson is the name. So just like I said, check him out if you haven't already. If it's the first time you've seen his stuff, check him out. Go give him a follow and give him some likes. Because this stuff is pretty cool. And just go back, and if you go just take a deep dive. He has some really cool stuff on there. And just like I said, just take my word for it. Go check it out.
I think I have my website linked in my bio as well. If anybody wants to go to that, they can find an easier viewing method to see stuff. All this sort of series are sort of kept together, so you don't have to scroll as far down. So that's easier for anyone. Please feel free to do that.
I like this one a lot too, just because it's, like I said, my son is in 9th grade band, and so I'm pretty much seeing almost all of these instruments, and seeing them played every week. So it's like it's just kind of a cool deal to see, your take on like that. You know what I'm saying?
Well, I mean, even though I don't have I can't play a musical instrument or I can't sing or anything, I have an appreciation for music. I think most people have some sort of relationship with music or an instrument or a memory tied to music. And so that's sort of what I hope to accomplish when I create these pieces of, it might not work for everyone, but there might be, like you're saying, of someone who plays the xylophone or the marimba and is like, hey, that's really cool. I kind of know what that is. I have a personal connection to that. Or, like you said, your son plays drums. That's why you picked out the drum one. In the past, I had a Chewy as a drummer, and a couple bought that for their son, who's also a drummer. It's all about trying to make those connections with people and have them see themselves or someone they know in the art.
Yes.
Nice reference, Rad Toys. That's really cool.
Yes. This is so. Is there? What is so? Is it a pair of the glasses? Is that somebody? What is that?
So one of the entries is Invisible Man.
Okay, that's what I thought.
And so it's funny because sometimes it's my favorite prompt and sometimes it's not. It depends on if you have a good idea or not.
Right.
Because half the time it's usually just like when Craig Gleason does it, he usually does glasses, a hat, and like a floating cigarette, and that's his Invisible Man, and I think that's really funny.
Right.
So for this one, I did like a huge synthesizer, and the Invisible Man is just wrapped up in the cables of this huge synthesizer. This one was one of the hard days of. I was like, oh, I drew way too many buttons. This is gonna take all day.
There's a lot of details going on there.
I try to make all the skulls, albeit one. There's one that's all the way. There's one that's closest to the character, but all the other ones have like dial eyes or speaker eyes or all that kind of stuff.
This would definitely be the Chevy Chase Invisible Man if I had to guess, because he was. I mean, he's like, he would of course get himself caught up in the chords and stuff like that, right? Anyway, so yeah. Man, yeah, this was awesome too, man. So it's like, yeah. So
thank you. This ended up being one of my favorites that came out of this year.
Amazing.
Yeah, it is.
The prompt was Sea Scum. So yeah.
What was the prompt?
Sea Scum.
Okay, I was gonna say, yeah, because it was like, okay, this is on a ship. You know what I'm saying? This was on a ship somewhere, probably at the bottom of the ocean or something, and it's, whatever. But yeah, this is awesome.
I imagine Davy Jones's theme playing when I see this, that part in the movie when he's playing with his tentacles and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, this is awesome. Yeah, so definitely got that inspiration. So this is probably my favorite. Because my son plays the drums and he plays the tenors, and so he has to have this strapped to him every Thursday.
Whole apparatus, it's crazy.
Yeah, and anyway, so he doesn't know it, but this is the one I'm getting for him. Anyway.
Thank you again, by the way.
Oh, no problem, man. It's like I said, as soon as I saw this, I'm like, okay, I got to pull the trigger on this one because this sums up everything that I need to, about him anyway. So I'm assuming, is this like what kind of? So is this like I don't know. I'd hate to say like a space dog or something like that or something.
Yeah, exactly. Sort of like the prompt is SOB, make your own assumptions, but it's usually dog related. And so, it's just like a gross dog. It kind of almost is in, I'm very much not like a Warhammer guy, but I think like I'm a very window shopping Warhammer guy. Like I think aesthetically it's really, really cool. I'm not gonna ever buy it. I can't afford it. I don't want to get too much in the lore. I just think visually it's really cool. So I think it's like Nurgle. Nurgle's like the gross guys of Warhammer. I try to go for that color scheme that I see all the time. That like sort of sickly green color.
Notice the skull down there in the bottom.
Yeah, it's a little guy with a bone in his mouth.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, my son also is like I guess he's his favorite pets are dogs, and so it sort of just went it made it even better at that point in time. So yeah,
that's perfect, and it's fun how that happens. Like I said, it's all randomly assigned, so that's wonderful that it worked out that way. Yeah, this is the Hell Shriner that I was talking about.
Gosh, yes.
Hell Shriner inspired by the Shriners that wear the fez hats and go around in their cars.
Yes, yeah.
It's always hard to iterate on, but man, this was a fun one to do.
Yeah, that is awesome. That's awesome.
I found some great reference pictures. I was using like one that was like a Coca-Cola little car that helped inspire like the shape of this one.
Okay.
Yeah, that's awesome. I remember. I'm old enough to remember. Well, I don't really see a whole lot of it very much anymore, but it's like when I was younger in the town I grew up in, they definitely had a lot of Shriners and they had the parade or whatever, you know what I'm saying? I remember them. And then some of them were driving those small little carts or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So that was awesome.
Yeah. The car is my favorite part of the Shriner thing. So that's why I went with it. I didn't do that last year, and I still like that piece, but this one I like a lot more.
I like how the skulls have little Shriner hats on them too in the bottom. Yeah. Yeah. Well, if you're gonna have a cello, or is that a cello? That's a cello, right?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's a cello or a bass. I did cello and double bass. They're very similar. I think this one is cello.
If you're gonna have a cello, you got to have a big. Well, you got to have a fairly big person to handle it. So, and this creature is definitely big enough to handle it.
Yeah, the main bug itself is inspired by a cicada bug. They have that sort of like kind of creepy, almost like mask-like sort of face to their mandibles, and then it's a little bit more subtle, but the design of the cello is based on a dung beetle. So it kind of has the shape in the top part of the cello, and then I looked up reference of their sort of carapaces that are on the back, and that's what inspired the sort of coloring of the center part.
This is really good one right here too. I definitely like the colors on that one, for sure. This one's nice too. Yeah.
Got to have a vampire in there. I think Craig calls him plasma sucker as his form. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say, what is on the what do you call that? The
bow.
Oh, the bow. Yes. What's on the bow?
It's a little devil.
Okay.
And the idea is my favorite vampire legend is the Vlad the Impaler legend. Shout out to the Indie episode about Vlad the Impaler, best episode. And so this character's name is Vladis the Impaler, and so the little devil is impaled on her bow.
Nice. Treebeard, maybe.
This one is actually based on I'm very slowly getting through House of the Dragon. But this tree is based on the Weirwood trees that they have in the Game of Thrones universe. The sort of carved faces that bleed out of their eyes. They're representative of the old gods. I'm just a show watcher. I haven't read any of the books, so I don't know the deep lore. But it was sort of fresh on the mind, and the prompt was haunted tree.
Well, there you go. There you go.
This one's my favorite. The tree is my favorite.
Really good too.
Yeah, this guy is it was skull head, skull face, something like that as the prompt. But I'm trying to lead me down this path, but I think in Dante's Inferno, all the streets their lampposts are skulls, like the skulls of the damned and stuff. And so that was sort of the inspiration behind this, is that this is like a walking sort of skull lamppost guy.
Nice. Nice. Hey, there's a robot made it.
I love like old school robots. Like, so this one is based on like, I think I researched like vintage Japanese robot toys, because I just love the shape language of old school robots.
This would be the epitome of one of those for sure.
Yeah, one of those wind up ones that.
Yeah, like the 10. Yeah.
Yeah, I think like it was like 1970s. My search bar was 1970s vintage Japanese robot.
Yeah,
you nailed it. Yeah, especially since it's got the symbols, right? Because it's like almost like, you know, I don't know. I mean, I don't know if any of the robots had the symbols, but it's like the monkeys did. But it's like that's pretty cool.
Yeah, you can kind of picture it in that motion of
right. Yeah, that's right.
I call it the Damned Orchestra, but they're more dressed like marching band. But Damned Orchestra sounds cooler than
right.
The Damned
band. Yeah. Well, you know, it's maybe you could have a different take on a name for the marching band. You know, like the you know, the I don't know, the whatever. You know.
Some battalion or whatever. I assume that they have something cool for it that they call it in like in the military or something, like the bugles or whatever.
Yes, something like that. So okay, so what am I looking at here exactly? What is the exactly.
So the prompt is I'm trying to remember the exact. The prompt is coffin nail. And the idea is that it's a cigarette pack head. So you know the nail in the coffin is like cigarettes,
right?
And so the head is sort of like a cartridge that's been burned away. You see the sort of rotting teeth, the smoke coming from behind. Last year I did one that was based on an actual like vintage cartridge packet. And this one I did my own package, but it's inspired by those sort of vintage ones.
Nice.
And he has like little cigarette hands, little fingers playing the instrument.
Nice detail.
And I love that the logo is the one that's playing the instrument, basically.
Oh yeah, right. Yeah. Sergeant Lucifer's Damn Souls Club.
Nice. That's awesome. Yeah, that'd be pretty cool. Yeah, it's a great idea.
Was this the first one? Maybe.
Yeah, this was the first one. This is another iconic Craig Gleason character, also on the book cover, the Ghoul. Sorry. Well, it's big. Yeah, that's one of his iconic characters. The three on this book are the Moongoon, the Ghoul, and the Bad Guy, which gives the club its name. But yeah, this was the one that started it all. Such a cool sort of character design, just that he created, and he's done so many iterations. One of the reasons I love this book is it has versions from so many years ago. Tim, to answer your question, there's an artist on Instagram. His name is Craig Gleason, and his version of Inktober is the Bad Guys Club, and it's all characters created by him.
Yeah, I know, Timbo, you probably get a kick out of it because I know you're big into comics like I am, and we like to see visual stuff like that. So if you go to Van's Instagram and just go to his followers and type in Gleason, it'll pull like right up to him because I've already done that. So
yeah, and he's tagged in all the pieces that are here too. So if you just go to any of the posts, you can click on it and it has to tag people.
I think this one was probably one of my favorites too. Just because, you know, I mean, I like creatures with wings and stuff like that, and so definitely, this is definitely that, you know.
Yeah, this one was bat. The prompt was sort of bat something, bat crazy or something like that. And my idea for this one is that he's actually hanging upside down, but it's been right side up, so that's why the blood is going upwards.
Oh my gosh, that's awesome! That's awesome.
So those are stalactites and not stalagmites.
I'll just nod my head because I get the distinction wrong every time.
Don't throw science at us, Joel. a lot of us don't have mountains and caves and stuff where we live. You know what I'm saying? So we don't really have, to be able to use that old science book for that. But anyway, so this is the last one, right? This is of yours. Was this the? Well, let me see. Oh no, this is the last one I have. Okay. I guess.
Yeah, this one. This is the prompt is grease bag, so it's always just food related. Last year I did Captain Crunch. This year I did a vintage. There's the vintage Mr. Potato Heads.
Yes.
The actual toy doesn't really look like this, but the art on the toy looks like
right.
this, and that's where I drew my inspiration.
Yeah.
It's a little bit scarier than I think Toy Story kind of has taken such a hold over Mr. Potato Head that you got to go back to the old.
Yeah, when Mr. Potato Head was an actual potato, it was not pleasant.
Yeah, I was like, I definitely got what this was as soon as I saw it. I was like, that's Mr. Potato Head right there.
Yeah, and in looking in some of the art, it was like there's all these side characters, obviously Miss Potato Head, but then it was like Frankie, and it was just like a hot dog with Miss Potato Head parts on. It was showing people that you could, I guess, alter other foods with your thing, expand your universe.
If you went back, 50 or 60 years or whatever, people's their take on certain things was more times creepy, you know what I'm saying, than it was, family friendly, you know what I'm saying? So it was some of that stuff was like if you go back and look at Halloween costumes from 40, well, let's just say 60 to 80 years ago, it's downright, insane. It'd almost be something
terrifying.
Yeah, you'd almost see something like this in a horror movie. You know what I'm saying? It's like, oh my God, people took pictures wearing this stuff. He's like, it's like, what? Oh my God, But yeah,
I think there's something missing with I think there should be more scary kid content. Because a lot of horror stuff is geared towards adults. I think that there's a fun way to have scary kid stuff.
Well, when I was young, of course, Joel, probably him too, and Bob, it was what was the name of the guy, or what was the name of the costumes that pretty much a lot of us wore? Was it Ben Cooper or something like that?
Oh, yeah, something like masks.
That. Yeah. And so that stuff was actually kind of creepy. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. When you see pictures now of kids in it with those
it's we all.
It looks like they've got black eyes and
that stuff. I mean, that's all we had, but it was cool. But none of us really thought it was. I don't think we thought it was creepy at the time. We just thought that it was just what we could get because it was at the dollar store or at Kmart or something like that, and it was normally I don't know, $3 or $4, and you had the mask and a little suit you'd get into that was just all plastic, would fit over your clothes, So anyway, but yeah, but I noticed that the guy who made those, they actually make figures now from Nika. They make figures of the little kids in those outfits and stuff. And
really?
That's kind of awesome.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. And it's I'd almost kind of like to get some of them, but they're super hard to get now. They're rare, or they sell them in a 5-pack, and they're super expensive. But I'm come on, man. It's those costumes probably cost less than $5 back in the day, and now they're selling figures wearing them, and they're $50 a piece. You know what I'm saying? So it's seriously, I mean, good for him, but anyway, so yeah, so okay, so this was a really good month of pictures of the Damned Orchestra band. Super good.
Very nice.
Thank you. I appreciate it. I have what it looks like at the end of the month. Here's my stack of characters, all sealed up, and got the comic book backing in there to make sure that they're all straight.
And I've gotten a few pieces from Van, and so it'll be protected and it'll get to you safe and sound. So just if you feel like you want something, reach out to him and give him talk to him about it.
Mm-hmm.
And for an original piece of art, you're getting it for what you would get for a print for somebody else.
Right.
Like
yes.
it's a very, I mean, it's original. It's an original character, and it's a really, really good deal.
Yeah, very, very well. It's. I mean, I hate to say this, but you could probably sell your stuff a little bit more than what you're selling it for. But anyway. Yes, very well priced. Like I said, get it now while you can, guys. I mean, it's he's going to be like taking those steps up. And so you can say, hey, you knew him now. So. Anyway, I did pull a few pictures of some of your stuff that you posted, I guess maybe earlier in the year, potentially. I'm not exactly sure when you had some of these, but so this was one of them. I'm not sure what theme or whatever it was a part of.
I did at the start of the year. I had this idea a while ago, but it took until this year to do it. I love classic Lego space. If anybody's like a Lego collector, it's the sort of colorful astronauts. If you watch the Lego movie, Benny is a classic spaceman. I love all the series that they did. And so I did a series of 20 character art pieces that each one is inspired by a minifigure of the classic aerospace line, and up to 2009, which has some of my favorite stuff. This guy, if anybody's a Lego fan, this is inspired by the Insectoid characters. The lore behind them are cool. It's sort of like these robots that took the present or like the visual appearance of the old aliens that used to live on the planet that they inhabit now. So all their ships are like bug design and all that kind of stuff. This is one of the guitar wizards.
Yeah, so I can't remember if I got. No, I don't think I got one of the. I don't know if I did or not. I like him, but well, actually, so this is another one of the Lego guys.
Yeah,
there was a series called UFO.
Yeah,
and the actual minifigures are more robotic. Lego has a weird thing. Up until 2009, they did not want to do aliens. It was always either humans or robots. And so my iteration with this one is I went more of an alien route of like I think they're called like the Draconis guardsmen is what the minifigure is called. So I wanted to go for like more of a lizard, reptile sort of alien creature.
Yeah, so I got this one.
Oh, hang on.
I haven't put it in anything
That
yet.
was nice.
Stuff that I am currently working on trying to get hung up in this room, and so but yeah, so pretty cool stuff. I had to pull the trigger on that one. I liked it a lot.
I'm glad that you got that one because that's one of my favorite ones that I did.
It was pretty cool. This one is awesome. I think this was my favorite of the wizards. I think somebody else got this one though, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, actually, I was very surprised. I did 10 of Guitar Wizard Series 2, and I only have one left that I didn't sell. But this one did win for when I do future prints. This one did win the vote I did for the bad guys, the Shadow Wizard.
Yes.
And going back to Ian Sweeney's question, all these guys are the ones that started with the instrument first. So the guitar is a guitar organ. If you're interested, you can reach out to me. I have a playlist that I can share with you where you can hear a lot of these guitars being played.
Oh, nice. Okay, so those are all cool and everything, but this is awesome. Like I wish, I guess I should have probably took a few more pictures or got some other shots of this or whatever. But your work like this is what, to me, it's like it's just fantastic.
Thank you. I appreciate it. This is the stuff I like to do. It's a lot more cumbersome in terms of like space. So yes. with the 9x12s, they all live in a drawer in a dresser.
Right.
Whereas this guy has to sit on the sewing machine.
Yeah. So basically these, I know they probably take a lot more of your time and stuff like that, and I love the characters, of the other things, but this stuff is like, to me, it's like, this stuff is great. This is another one. that this is probably the first one that I saw. I think this might have been the first. Which one was this one done first before this one?
The one that you have on screen right now was done. I was fortunate enough to do an artist in residency at the start of this year, and this is the piece that I created during that residency that now lives where it was held. That was sort of the trade-off of you get to go stay there, and then you leave a piece. So
is that in Colorado?
Yep.
Yeah,
it's an old church that got converted to like a hotel.
Mm-hmm.
This is the permanent piece. Yeah,
I really love this one. Like right here, it's like this one. This one's probably my favorite of these next few pieces, just because I don't know, man. It's just something about it, man. I love the aliens. I love the, it was like, what would you, I guess is what was, I guess would be in the earth, I guess at this point, right? Of if you like could take a snapshot of what's down there or whatever,
I love the idea of taking historical, geological, geographical, biological ideas that are like of our world and alienizing them. I live in Utah, so a lot of red rock, a lot of rock formations, a lot of animals, a lot of bones and fossils and all that kind of stuff. So a lot of that stuff ends up in my work. And same thing with Colorado. They have a huge history, especially the town that I was staying in. They have a couple dinosaurs named after that were found there. So,
and Egyptian hieroglyphics.
Yeah, so this is one whole piece though, right?
Mm-hmm. I made this for a May the 4th show. That was a local gallery.
So I've got like broke down to 4 sections. So, yeah, so if you'll notice, it's very Star Wars inspired.
Mm-hmm.
For this one, I didn't want to do known characters. I wanted to do character archetypes. So with that last slide, everybody knows a rebel pilot and a droid. For the next one, clone trooper and a Jedi. As it goes on, playing those archetypes, a Sith and a battle droid. And then finally is sort of a bounty hunter and a pirate. Sort of those character archetypes that you know and understand of Star Wars, but they're original characters, so to speak. And to answer your question, Tim, but yeah, they're all. I combine 2D with sort of 3D collage ish. So things are layered on top of each other using sort of dollar store foam board. I also like to use affordable materials, both for my wall, but also to show others that you don't need expensive tools to create art.
Yeah, so there's a Jawa to the left and a Power Droid to the right, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I wanted it to be like these are different portals into different worlds that may or may not be Star Wars, in name. Like you have your binary sunset in the background back there. And then sort of like I try to do like Java architecture. And that would be like there's all these statues that are in these worlds.
Joel, he made the figure of that Wookiee though, right?
Van made the figure. We made it together, but it was
it was a collaboration. I painted it.
Van's paint job that brought it home.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah, he created all.
I was trying to find it, but I don't know where it's at.
Yeah, so it's actually it's got a live action. Well, not live action, but it's got a figure made that if you follow Joel's stuff, I'm sure you've seen it as well. But that. It's pretty awesome. So what about where is this piece at right here? So where is this at?
Tucked behind the C1, also on the sewing machine.
Gotcha.
They're all wrapped up in saran wrap to protect the front layers and stuff.
So we basically touched on it at the beginning of the show. So you basically were awarded the emerging artist for the Mayor's Awards in Utah. Right.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Every year our city has these mayor awards, and there's an art council. I wish I knew the name off the top of my head of what that organization is called, but there's a lot of art advocacy that's in the city, and they just try to recognize people. And what's cool about the mayor awards is it's nomination based. And so someone submits something on your behalf to sort of showcase your recognition. I was very fortunate to be not only honored, but honored amongst other people. One of the other artists, the artist that got visual artist, Chris Bodley, huge inspiration to me since I was a kid. I would go to the farmer's market right after high school, and he would have like a booth there, and he has some Star Wars pieces that we have, and I have a poster of his somewhere. Big inspiration. So it was really cool to be on stage with him.
So how nervous were you?
I was very nervous. The last thing I wanted to do was like be emotional and crack up on stage, especially, trying to represent yourself with all these other people that are in the community.
Right.
And so I tried to keep I had a couple more things I wanted to say, but I had to keep it short. So I didn't crack up on stage.
Well, congratulations on that.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
And everybody he was on stage with has been a professional at what they do for probably at least 15 years. And so he's kind of like the rookie.
Yeah, exactly.
So he held his own.
Stage.
He was fine.
Right.
All the crying was at our table, so you did good.
I mean, I'm sure you were the proud dad, Joel. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like whenever one of our children do something that's pretty special, it's pretty awesome, But yes, congratulations on that, and congrats, and wish you luck on.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
I'll definitely be keeping an eye on you to see what you do.
Yeah, I appreciate your support and a chance to talk about my stuff. Thank you.
Yep, no problem. This was, I guess, the piece that you, what's the word I'm looking for? You, this was one that you submitted, I guess, for the Mayor's Award.
Okay. Oh, this was for there's a show at a community college nearby. It's the President's Show. I created it hoping to get into that show.
Okay.
But yeah, this was my most recent painting and my biggest to date that has a frame. I've done some ones that are comparable size, but they don't have a built-in frame.
Well, it looks pretty awesome. I don't know if you can really see, but it's like the detail in this is awesome. And this one was called what? What was this one called?
Fearful Buzzing.
Yeah.
The story behind this is if anybody's like a Fallout fan, I'm a big Fallout fan too. In Fallout New Vegas, there's these creatures called cazadors. They're based on tarantula wasps. And they're big in the game, but this idea kind of came about of how scary would it be to be walking through a canyon and a giant version of a tarantula wasp came overhead. Because I just wanted to showcase like a food chain of there's a person in their steed running away from these big tarantulas, and then what eats the big tarantulas. There's always a bigger thing on the other side.
There's always a bigger fish, right,
yep,
Joel?
Exactly. Yeah, Bjorn, cazadors, man, they'll mess you up.
I love the fact that I love the colors. I love the fact that it's not a normal that you didn't like take earth colors, sort of for this. You know what I'm saying? It's like I love seeing different colors used in different color combinations and stuff. And so I just love the whole colors of this whole piece right here. But yeah, for sure.
And this one's huge. This is like poster sized, and it's all layered. So like the stuff, like if you could see it from the side, you would see how much depth that it has.
It's like, hey, you're getting, it's like you've got some pieces that you're hanging on to that you can put in the your exhibit when you have yours, you know what I'm saying? So for sure. So I basically took a couple snapshots of like these are some of the pieces that you've done before that you've sold or sell at various art events and stuff like that.
Yeah, very fortunate. There's a tattoo shop downtown. I live downtown, so I have really nice access to the sort of local community. And they put on their Instagram, "Hey, we're looking for artists. We want to have people showcased. Reach out." And I was like, "Why not?" Reached out to them, and I've been in there for a little over a year, coming up on a year. I think it was around last November, December that I reached out to them initially. So I just put all those Lego inspired ones in there now since it's a more recent series.
Awesome. I know that occasionally Joel will be like, I said, what are you doing tonight? He's like, well, we got an art thing we're going to. I said, okay. And so he's always sending me pictures of like what you got there and the setup and stuff. And so is there like a every Friday night or every Friday type of art fest thing they have there? Or is it just summers, you know what I'm saying? Or is it year long, you know?
The art is year long in our neck of the woods. Every month, the first Friday of every month, there's what's called the First Friday Art Stroll. And I believe that they just said that there's 29 participating locations that are in our city, usually downtown, where you can view art. And it's just sort of everybody opens their doors and it's an opportunity to sell art. It's an opportunity to view it. Most of the time, most spaces are free, unless they're doing like a specific ticketed event. But especially for us, it's really cool because there's a lot of old buildings that we would normally not have access to go view had it not been for First Friday and they open the doors and let you in. So the picture of the booth was from a summer event exclusively, but there is art year round, and that shop, I'm one of they have a couple other artists that are featured. So we're their artists for First Friday. So
nice. That's awesome. Okay. So this was the one you were talking about earlier. Right.
So this is another one. All the Guitar Wizards of that second wave were, and I hope it's not too confusing when I'm like wave 2. I feel very much, I think, in action figure terms of this is wave 1, this is wave 2, all that kind of stuff. I think in batches. But one of the instruments that I found in that guitar book, it's called the Picasso 2, obviously an inspiration of Picasso. And it's just this insane guitar that has, it has 2 necks. It has about 3 sort of harp style playment parts. And again, I have a video of somebody playing this. It's extraordinary. But how do you play a multi-neck guitar? You have 8 arms, so.
That's right. And so
like this.
Like that. So so this was pretty awesome, I have to say. Probably a really big endeavor, I'm sure, to create this.
So this one took as much planning as the other 30 figs. This was my Halloween special.
Your magnum opus.
My closing, yeah.
That's right, man. And what a closer it is.
Yeah.
So I was like, my God, man, seriously? I was like, I'll just throw mine in the trash. You know what I'm saying? It's like he's busting out 8-arm guitar player. It's like that's awesome. So
you did a great job recreating it.
That's fantastic. I like how you guys sort of I guess play off each other, and I like how you will make some art and then create a figure to go with it or something like that. I just like that. I like that a lot. But yeah, this was super awesome. Joel, I don't have these in any particular order because I don't. But
if you go back just a second, the previous one, I'm just curious, how long did it take to create this figure?
With
from
planning and
concept to
everything,
finish,
it probably took like 40 days.
It shows.
So,
a lot of work.
The guitar itself was one of the hardest things I've ever made, and then I had to make hands to play the guitar.
Really?
And at first, I'm like, well, I'm going to attach all the hands to the figure and articulate them, and that didn't work. And then I'm like, well, wait, if I can cheat and attach 4 of the hands to the guitar, then we have something here. So that's what I did.
You did a wonderful job because I don't think 99% of us would have attempted that feat right there. So yeah, that's super awesome. I mean, it's basically this. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
So like
super solid recreation. Yeah,
it is.
Yeah.
It is
Definitely.
So my question is have you put this thing up on a shelf to where you're not going to touch it again? You know what I'm saying? Because it's like, I don't know how fragile this thing might be or something, but I'm sure you probably, it's like you got your picture out of it and then you put it up, right?
If I drop this, it would be in a million pieces. So
Well,
it's just somewhere on the station.
Yeah, I was gonna say, yeah. Don't
He's very solid though. It's a very solid base.
Right.
The body is a Power of the Force Imperial Guard.
Nice.
So it's like that
okay.
salt shaker.
There's very
And
few
then-
solid figures that are as solid as that.
Yeah. And then his robes were kind of sculpted out, so it's got a very, very good base.
Nice.
But I don't want to drop it.
No, don't.
Oh yeah, no.
He fits in with the many buskers of Starboy Station.
Yeah, you definitely want to put that one somewhere where there's potentially maybe 2 walls next to him or close to him, so it doesn't like fall one way or the other. But
yeah.
So like I said, I didn't go from. I just grabbed as many pictures as I could, and so there's a couple of them I have more shots of. Like, to me, this shot was like, it's a fantastic shot just by itself. Never mind that it's a custom, but it's like that's a damn fine shot of going down. The depth of that is awesome. And this is the custom right here. So this is
this turned out to be my favorite one because this was leftover parts. This was going to be like an articulated Ugnaught, just a worker, like just because I had the parts left over because I used them for something else.
Right.
And then I ended up switching out his skirt and it had a holster. And I'm like, you know what? This guy's going to be a marshal and he's going to be like a little badass.
Yes.
And so I just started adding stuff to him, and I really like how it turned out.
Yeah, so this one was really good. This one is one of my favorites. So
before we get to that one, sorry to interrupt, but got a quick question from Ian Sweeney here. So have any of you designed a stage or bus for the tour bus for the Orchestra of the Damned?
I haven't. I was just replying in the comments. That would be an awesome idea. I think it could be a good way to combine the big and the small pieces, like we were showing earlier. That'd be awesome. I have done a concert style piece. I created a character. I called it Anatomy of a Giant, and I had a concert going on in his stomach. So that's the only time I've done that. But yeah,
nice.
Good question.
And the giant's like 7 feet tall, so it's like a real giant.
It's life size. It's inspired by like the skeletons that you would see in like your science class. And so it's my dad helped me build an apparatus for it. Yeah, it was a cool piece. It's kind of what started me down this path.
Anyway, thanks, Making Hicks 6. Appreciate you watching whenever you can. But yeah, I love the Rhodian. I love the Clint Eastwood.
Poncho. Yeah.
Poncho. On him. That's awesome. I'll probably steal that at some point in time. I got to get one first from that company, but yeah, definitely awesome. Love Rhodians. What more can I say? Okay, so what was the name of this guy? Oh, this guy was just a rebel trooper, right, Joel?
His name is something Jank Sout.
Okay.
I think I should have brought my paper.
That's all good. So I like how so for me, I was just taking a shot of the picture of the figure that, and I mean, you had like some full on scenes that you did with yours, and that was awesome. It was like this one guy had like maybe 6 shots that went with him. And so I was like, maybe I could have done something like that with my stuff, but I'm like, at this point in time, I was just happy to get a photo snapped of one. But I'm sure most everyone seen these.
Sorry, I think my first 28 pictures were just the character, except for the dinosaur was too big. We had to go outside. And then after that, I'm like, you know what? I need to put them in like a situation. So.
Right. Yeah. So like this right here. So it's like, I was like, yeah, I said, that's a badass shot. I said, but I need to like have a picture of like the people, So it's like, and one of these like Tuscan, oh, I forgot what you called them.
There's like Tuscan Assassins,
Tuscan Assassin. That's right.
Lady
That's
Silence and Lady Blood.
Gotcha. Nice. Yeah, those were awesome. I love the shot on that. And this, fantastic right here. I mean,
hard to go
This
around
thing
with a good
actually
Ewok.
respects Ewoks.
Murder Bear, 100%, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, this one's awesome. This is one of my favorites too.
Yeah, I love
Especially
Ewoks.
the lore with the tie-in to Battle for Endor. Battle for Endor, awesome movie.
Yes. Which one is so? I guess so. Another Rodian. I love Rodians. On some of them, I did have a couple more shots of them. Some of them I didn't. So I guess your favorite. I guess which one was your favorite? Did you say, Joel?
My favorite was the little sheriff.
Oh, I got you. Okay. Man, I love the presentation for a lot of. You had the presentation down like 100% for most of these guys, and I was like, I definitely will take a cue from this next year because it's like I did mostly just straight up shots, and I'm like, I gotta add a little bit more to mine next year, but super good. I love the thing coming out of the bowl. It's awesome.
Always got to have a tentacle somewhere coming out of a bowl or a pot or something.
Nice. Oh yeah, so this guy was super good.
Yeah, I remember this one.
Yeah, I know that everybody was like looking for this next shot right here because it's like, and they're like, oh, okay, yeah, definitely got it. And so
El Mariachi.
Yes,
exactly. That's exactly what I was gonna say. Is the El Mariachi?
Mm-hmm.
That's a good one right there. Yeah, so this one was a really good one. Is this a Fortnite figure, Joel?
This is a Fortnite figure. Yeah, the waiter in this were kind of like the throwaway Fortnite figures that Dan initially challenged me.
Gotcha.
That said I was never going to use, and so
they're the alien-headed ones, right?
Yeah, like who's gonna wear? Who's gonna wear? Who's gonna wear a suit? It's gonna be like a maitre d', a waiter, or like some guy in a playing in the orchestra. And we didn't coordinate with the upright bass or the cello. That was just a coincidence that we both did one.
A nice little coincidence, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Nice. So this droid was awesome. Like I said, I'm sure most everybody has seen all these, but if you haven't, go back and check them out on Joel's page. They're pretty awesome. I love the design on this one. I love the Jawa inside there, right? It was that's fantastic.
Who was it that made like the Jawa tank a while back? TX Customs, I think. So this would be a nice addition to like a Jawa army.
Yeah.
Kind of thing going on.
Yeah. Like I said, this if Hasbro was to make this, I think we'd all buy one. You know what I'm saying? It's yeah, for sure.
I think you need to get an alien queen, Dad, and have it face up against.
Okay.
Yeah. Get away from her. Yeah.
Exactly.
Right. So this one was super cool. I did do another shot of this because you just had to because of the contraption on the back.
Mm-hmm.
It's like I know that I have no idea like who this person is. I know that you have it's in some Star Wars lore, right? Or something.
It's a High Republic lore.
Okay.
And there's another character, the Hammerhead, that I think Van might have shown me the picture of it. And when I was looking at pictures of that, I found this guy, and I'm like, oh, I have to make this guy. This guy's awesome.
Super good right there, man. That is not easy to try to replicate something that you see off of a picture. You know what I'm saying? It's especially with what companies give us as far as pieces and accessories. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So it's like to have to make to make that. It's like it's Phenomenal work. Yeah, here's the other guy, right? Like I love this, but I definitely think I love this version more right here. Just because it's like I said,
And this one evolved because this one was just going to be like no soft goods at all. And then I was working on trying to figure out his cape and everything, and then I'm like, you know what? And I grabbed one of those Book of Boba Fett Tuscan ones with the black robes, and I
yes,
threw it on here. And it's
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
this is what it needed.
yes, that's fantastic, fantastic. Yeah, like I've my Star Wars lore is not very much. Like I read a lot of the books that came out like after Return of the Jedi, but it's like I couldn't tell you a lot about most of the lore actually. But this one was cool. I love worker bots or worker aliens, and so this one was super good. I actually have another slide for this one as well. So this, man, that's awesome.
But yeah, he was a prequel. So for Whip Wednesday, they had like a challenge. I can't remember if it was a droid challenge or just a character. Oh no, it was a lightsaber challenge.
Right.
And so I made it's RO9 like Ronin, and he took over his master's lightsabers after his master was killed. So then I'm like, well, I'm going to make him pre-version of when he was just a farm bot. So this is the farm bot.
What is the head from?
Rogue printing machine
Okay.
prints a bunch of different heads. This is like his samurai bot, and he actually, I asked him, hey, can you make this in 118?
Gotcha.
And he did. So
awesome. Yeah, I like that. I always like seeing stuff that I'm not familiar with. Hey, there's a Biff. It's one of my favorite aliens. And this is a non-musical Biff, right?
This is a non-musical Biff.
Yeah, they exist, people. They're not all musicians. So this guy is awesome, and he goes. I guess he's in this vehicle right here, right? So that's why I'm trying to put them together.
I just put him in there because he was they were close together in days, and his knees bent. So
yes,
I just threw him in there.
And what was this thing called again?
This is a Warthog.
Ian, yes, it was the Kenobi body. Yes.
The Biff's name is not Ebo, and if anybody like looks at it backwards, it's Obi-Wan. So
nice. Bjorn, it's like those Biff heads are so good, man. You could almost pop them on anything, and they'll work. Yeah. I like the design of this Warthog, Joel. I like that.
I love those Halo toys, but I can't afford any of them, so I'm glad that you get get to do stuff with them.
This one's on its way to Defiant.
Nice.
Yeah.
This one, man, was super good, so good. It's like it seemed like you definitely you used a lot of. You could have used this for a couple posts. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like you had enough stuff that was different. I mean, my gosh, man, it's like once I saw, I guess, Empire Toy Works doing something with one of those dinosaurs, Brachiosaurus or whatever, I was like, man, that's such a good idea. And it's like, but I don't want to do something that's kind of what he did, but it's like, this is just totally perfect. And so now I'm like, well, now I'm not going to do one at all because, you pretty much did what I would have wanted to do. And so it's perfect.
And Van took a lot of these pictures because since he's young, he could get down on the ground.
Right.
So, yeah.
Yeah, especially.
Now, are those statues actually in your backyard, or are those some you got just for the pictures?
Those are in my backyard, yeah.
Yeah, Confucius statue. It's been there for a very long time. It's funny because this kind of reminds me, Dad, I feel like you had good practice. When I was a kid, I had a big elephant toy. It didn't have a lot of mobility to it, but he helped me turn it into a Oliphant from Lord of the Rings, and he built the base that you could put on back. And I had a bunch of like knight scaled army guys scaled knights, and we throw them on back of there. So I feel like that is an iteration of sorts.
That's a true statement, Ian. That's a true statement.
Yeah,
that
hard both
works
ways.
real well.
It's hard both ways.
That's right. Yeah. But yeah, these guys are awesome right here, man.
And these are all bonus ones.
Yeah,
the dinosaur's ready, and I'm like, you know what? It needs some people.
Yeah, these were definitely well done too. I love, like I said, I just love these guys riding on the back of this thing, man. That's just awesome. I mean, that's I don't know if I'd say that was my favorite of the month, but it's damn near right up there for sure.
I figured this big dinosaur just kind of rides all across the planet, and everybody just goes and trades with it. So he buys stuff, he sells stuff.
I mean, and it's like, is that a Thorian have a robot leg too?
Yes.
Oh man, see, it's like that's even better, man. It's like you could have just fudged these figures right and just made whatever, you know what I'm saying? Just put 4 of them that you already have on there, but you created 4 for this one as well. So it's like, man, that's awesome.
The robot leg was kind of a happy accident because it's really hard to try to meet up an Arthurian leg with a regular leg because they're so shaped like weird. And my initial cut was wrong on his. He was really off, and so I just kind of threw the robot on him and figured that the doctor patched him up. So
remember, kids.
Oh, go ahead.
Measure once or measure twice, cut once. So
for being such a simple fig, the Thorian looks so good on the yak face body. It totally.
Because there's not. It's like there's only so much you can do with those yak faces because of his neck bulb or whatever, and so I always love this. Like the Thorians are good for those, and I've found putting those Velociraptor heads on them kind of work a little bit too. But I'm always wanting to find something else because it's a good body, but it's like it's got to be some kind of alien. You know what I'm saying? It's got to be some kind of alien. For sure. But that's really good work on those. This is, what was this bus called or the van called? The
Jawa party van.
The party van. That's right. And to go with your 90,000 Jawas, right? That you got.
Yep.
Yeah. So this one was good.
This was the one that lit up and had the smoke effects and all that, right? Or...
Yes.
I think you own all Jawa Power of the Force 2-packs in Utah or close to it,
and Oklahoma maybe.
I got a pretty good stash from Oklahoma too.
Nice, because every time we go to like a toy show or toy fair, like if they got this, it's going in the bag.
Hey man, it's like they probably sell them for like $5 or $6, and that's a steal for those. You know what I'm saying? So
I always buy Jawas. I always buy Dexter Jetster. And probably like any kind of alien, Rhodian or Gamorrean.
Right. I combined both of these because at this point in the day, I was like, okay, I'm at 60 or 70 or 80 pictures right now. I was like, I'm gonna try to condense some where I can. But this is a super good vehicle, and the figure is awesome, man. You definitely got to use that yak face head. Right.
Yep.
So this was this the Halo 4-wheeler, I guess?
Yeah. What's that called, Van?
Mongoose. Yeah. That's awesome. Yeah.
A great way to use that Master Chief body because those Halo figs aren't fully 3 3/4. They're like more 4.
Yes.
But because Yak Face is like a taller, bigger character, it doesn't look out of proportion at all.
It looks really good. Those, it's like, and you gotta have some different scale, figures. You know what I'm saying, just to make everything look a little bit more, I guess, alive. Because Hasbro doesn't do a very good job of making figures differing sizes. So anyway, but that's really good work right there.
Unless it's a new version of Leia, and then they're
the females are like this, and the males are like this. It's like just I don't know. I wish they could get that figured out a little bit, but whatever. let's see here. Okay, so this one was another good one, man. I'm a big dinosaur fan, and so this was really good. I thought this was one of the better ones, just because you went another level or another step and brought an a mount pretty much into it, and so that was super good. It looks.
I had the mount for like 3 weeks, 2 weeks, and then I'm like, I probably should do a rider for this one. So the rider is the bonus.
Well, it looks exactly how it should look. You know what I'm saying? So it's like if this was on, if we were watching this and this came across, The Mandalorian or some, season 4 or whatever, it would be like, oh, there it is. There's the traveler on the the mount. Super good work on this. So super good
Thank
work.
you.
And so we have a couple of.
I did like these Cosmo series. Cosmo
So
ones.
this is my dog Willow as a space dog,
And we have another.
and this is my dog Ren as a space dog.
Nice.
That's
So,
awesome.
where did you get the dog heads? Are those like custom made?
The Willow one is the one that's actually the Cosmo head.
Oh, okay.
They're just painted. And then that's Willow, sorry. And then the Shepherd one is a Marauder's dog, German Shepherd.
So was this with the body basically the same dog?
Same body.
Okay, it was okay. Yeah. So was this the one that came with the epic line or whatever?
It came with like Groot with wings.
Okay, yeah, I know what you're talking about. Yeah,
and baby Rocket. I don't know.
Yeah, I think so. I think that's the one. Okay, that's awesome.
And for the most
if
part,
you roll back Oh, go ahead.
I was going to say, for the most part, almost every custom that I did was like Ross, like a clearance, a big pack of the Halo things at Ross. I tried to use, like I got these for a really good deal at an outlet store for the dog body. So a lot of them I tried to, they weren't like really expensive figures, except there was a couple when I got into the D&D ones that I had to pay a little bit more for.
Right.
Because I needed a specific body, but.
Well,
if we could roll back just a couple to the dinosaur mount. One more. There we go. Ian was asking, what's the head used on that figure?
Is that Eagle
I want to
Force?
say I got it. No, I don't think so. I want to say I got it from Vitruvian Armory, and so I'm not 100% sure if it's either a boss fight or a something else. I want to say maybe boss fight, but I'm not 100% sure.
This was definitely one of my favorites. This one and the next one. I love any kind of pirate stuff or whatever, and so to me, this one was super good.
Yeah, and so those
perfect fit.
Those Fortnite jackets or the Fortnite figures that ended up being like the waiter and the musician. The jackets are like perfect pirate jackets.
It's the one with the llama, right? Aren't they the one with the llama?
Yeah, like the gold looking
like the DJ
llama
robot head or DJ llama robot head.
Yeah, those are awesome. I love the trident for the hand. I think that's a nice touch. That's awesome. Was that one of the Pirates of the Caribbean figures?
It was the free Pirates of the Caribbean figure. Yeah.
Gotcha. Nice use of that.
Viper 9, correct?
Yeah, Viper 9. He's like a toy show buddy, and he just like threw it in. He's like, "Here, do something with this," and then it was just sitting there for months and months, and then finally I'm like, you know what? This Nemoidian head by itself, it was just in a box. Kind of looks like a pirate hat.
It does.
Well, I have a pirate body, and I put them together, and it's like this turned out.
Well, it works really good, and so does the red kerchief. You know what I'm saying? It's like it just all fits together.
Yeah, it's perfect fit.
It is. But this one may be my favorite one though, just because it's like you could have just as easily seen this guy on the Clone Wars animated show. You know what I'm saying? It's like he'd have been hanging out with
those dudes.
You know, and so so good, man, so good. I even like the little what you call it, the little creature, the
it's like a Kowakian monkey lizard.
Yeah, I have no idea what they call them,
that is Hondo's pet.
Okay, it is Hondo's pet, yeah.
And so good, man, so good. I like how you even put in. It looks like, did you have like a flintlock pistol or something like that? Maybe.
Yep,
That's awesome. That's awesome. Super good, man. This is so good. The whole thing is it just fits together like it's supposed to be there, right? So, exactly, man. It's like I said, you could have definitely seen this on the Clone Wars animated show.
Mm-hmm.
Or I could see him in
the Skeleton Crew.
Skeleton Crew, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, yeah, for sure. And I hope they give us at least a few of the figures in TVC. I mean, I would take them all, but I hope at least we get a few of them. You know.
The Wolfman one would be awesome, and the Gran with the eye patch on the third eye sock. That's so genius. It's so well
I mean,
done.
I have a feeling I so think that they'll give us the Nikto from
season 3.
Yeah. I so want to get that one just because I do love Niktos and stuff. And as soon as I saw him, I was like, man, he's pretty cool. And so, I hope we get those. But yeah, so this one was the first one, right? That you did. Was this the first one that you did, Joel?
I want to say second.
Second, okay. Oh, that's right.
First or second.
That's right. It's a second. So yeah, this is awesome. And by the way, if people are looking for these things, I saw one at Ross the other day for like $8 or something like that. So it's like
I got it for $8 or $9.
Okay, I was gonna say it's a steal. It's like check out your Ross right now because they're starting to get Christmas stuff in, and they're getting all kinds of stuff. I didn't really find much. I've already had one of these. Otherwise, I would have got one. But and I got one like at a Ross, so it's like I didn't really need to get another one. But super good work on this one.
Thank you.
Was this stuff that you printed?
No, this is all styrene.
Okay.
The gun is from the Warthog, I believe.
Right.
Gotcha. But it's just I just made that shape in styrene.
Nice.
Because there's a rhinoceros on like Big Bad Toy Store, like a 1/12 that has all this really, really cool armor. It's like $100 or $120. And I'm
like a gladiator type one.
Yeah. And I'm like, I'm never going to buy a rhino for that much in 1/12. I don't need it. Right. I'm like, you know what? I have an $8 rhinoceros.
Yeah, just make you one.
I have some styrene, so
this comes from the Avatar: The Last Airbender line, and what's so cool about the creature design of that show is that all creatures are mashups, and so they're inherently fantastical.
Right. Yeah, I've got an Appa somewhere now. Nice. That I haven't done anything with. That was going to be my my Gucci from Acid Rain because I didn't want to spend $100 for a Gucci, and so I'm like, I'm just going to use this, and then I end up pulling the trigger on it anyway, and so because I have no will, I guess. I still have thoughts about what I'm going to do that Appa, but so at some point in time, I'm going to do something with it. But yeah, this one's super good, and then this was your first one. I forgot.
That's my first one.
So really good work, man. It's like I hate to like put this on you or anything, but it's like you could definitely have a big side hustle designing and making these if you wanted to, man. I'm just gonna say, these are the Gamorrean statues. I mean, this to me is like, put him up there, Bob. Can you bring that up?
Yeah, sorry, give me just a second here.
I've got my Lego iteration.
Oh, nice.
That he created for me as a gift.
That's awesome. Yes. Yeah, my Gamorrean is back there on my in display. But yeah, like I said, man, it's like you could stay in business with making these pieces, these statues. Just saying,
Yeah.
really
So
good work.
my original thing with the Gamorrean was I just wanted to make like a piece that represented me. And then as it went on, I'm like, well, what if I made a piece that represented like somebody else's station and customized it for them? So for Utah Dawn, I did one that was kind of made out of red rocks.
Right.
That's a one of a kind. And then Van, I'm like, well, he's got a Lego space station. I'm going to make him a Lego one. And then this one's going to the Outer Multiverse. This one should be there Tuesday, I think.
Nice. Can't
Yeah.
wait. Thank you, man. It's like this is pretty awesome. Yeah, like I said, I'm not trying to throw any extra work on you or anything, but it's like, man, it's like there's definitely, I think there's definitely a need for more stuff like this out in the world for sure. Because man, it looks so good as it is. Like it's just perfect in my opinion. Like I could picture all kinds of different figures and stuff in like this format. You know what I'm saying? Like stormtroopers or Mandalorians or Rhodians or stuff like that. Just all kinds. It just I love seeing when you do this type of stuff, and so I definitely I can't wait to see more of it. I know it's probably hard to do. It's not super easy and stuff, but it's awesome and it comes across that way.
Thank you.
Well, everybody can use some more art in their stations.
There you go. You're right, man. That's exactly right.
I use mine as like scatter terrain. I play a Star Wars 5e game, and we use Lego as our bottles, and I throw it in as set dressing all the time.
Nice.
Yeah, it's awesome. I like how you did the Lego ones too. It's almost, I mean, it's just like I said, it's fantastic work. Oh yeah, okay. So this is okay. We're almost towards the end, guys. I know we've been on for a couple hours, so we're gonna zip through these. But so, you guys have a D&D game, I guess, or had a D&D game?
We had a D&D game, yeah.
And then so the final semester of school hit.
Yeah. Everybody got busy, and Van was the dungeon master, and then the rest of us, there was 5 of us that played as the main characters. And then
go ahead. We'll just go through these, but go ahead and just mention who they are for each picture.
So this is April Little. This is my other son's girlfriend, Brooke, her character. And this one I was proud of because I just didn't know how to do this character. And then I had a box of figures, and I had a Jurassic Park figure, and I had the Groot wings that came with the dogs. Mm-hmm. And I put them together. I'm like, that's it. That's what I needed.
Yeah, you did a real nice job of that, especially with the appearance of the small version.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, she's a fairy.
Yeah, in the background with some of the other pictures. I didn't put it on here, but anyway. What about this one?
This is my wife. This is Fina. Fina's like a tall warrior. My wife is really short and really sweet and nice. But we were playing D&D, and there's a scene. She's like, well, can I pick up sand and throw it into people's eyes? And we're just like, who are you? And it was a really, really cool moment. So
yeah, she gets way more aggressive. That's what's so fun about like role playing just in general is your ability to be someone that you're not every day. And so she plays a very intimidating character in that game.
And sand to the eyes does affect you. So just FYI.
Yeah.
So real quick, Bjorn's got a question here for Van. Did you get the Lego D&D figures, the little minifigure blind bags?
I did. We got very lucky. We were going. We call it AFH. We go action figure hunting. And we were out, and it was around September 1st. One of the Walmarts we went to accidentally put them out a little early, and we snagged a couple. I don't have the full set yet, but I've got a lot of them. really, really good wave. Highly recommend anyone that's interested in either Lego or D&D. Super awesome.
What about this one, Joel?
So this is based on Van's girlfriend's character. This is a ghost who is a demon. Van, what's the character name?
They're tieflings.
Or the character Keith? Yeah.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
And her lore for the character is she ran in a gang of kids, and they all had like code names, and so hers was Ghost. There was Bones. There was Skelly. All that kind of stuff. So she's a thief.
Nice.
Yeah, and so I made alternate heads for her. I made like the normal regular head, and then I made the scary demon head.
Who plays as this?
This is my son Ash, my other son, and this is Grind, and he is a
dark elf.
Yeah,
a drow.
Okay,
drow.
Yeah, the drow. That's what I was trying to think of.
Yeah, nice.
And this one for the head and the body, I did use a boss fight elf, but I painted the head and changed the body up, changed the legs, changed the torso, added the fur. So,
and this is perfect because his character is like the edgy ranger type character, bow and arrow character. So it's perfect representation.
Yeah, my first thought was like a Drizzt, like character, because I'm a big fan of him in Forgotten Realms. So yeah. Awesome. But yeah, awesome work here, man. I like this one a lot too. And then so
this is Dim. This is the leader of the demons. Yeah, this is Dim. This is my character. So he's just a dwarf that he's looking for a wife. This whole story is he's on adventures looking for a wife. But he's also a really, really good cook.
Nice.
At one time during the game, he found a camel, and then he would just basically milk it and use the milk to make different meals. So
nice.
Till it ran away.
Yeah, the camel's name was Bacon, and the intention was always to eat the camel, but then the camel never got eaten. So
we never ate the camel. Yeah,
became a party member.
Did you ever see that? I forget the name of it, but there's an anime series where they like capture stuff in dungeons and cook it up. And...
Yeah. What's funny is I just discovered that like in the last month.
Oh, okay.
I told the boys, I'm like, this is Dim. This character is Dim. He just goes.
The show came out after our game too, which is so.
Yeah.
Like obviously it's just happenstance, but it's just cool that it's so fitting.
And so this is the group of them right here, and there's the small. So was that just a Photoshop that you put in there?
Yeah, I just kind of took a picture of her on a white background and then took it out and then just shrunk her down.
Yeah, well, that's a good use of that, because it was like how I was like, at first I'm like, was he going to try to use some kind of miniature piece or just like Photoshop it? And so that looks awesome.
I almost thought it was forced perspective when I first saw the images, but then.
So Van, did you do this maybe?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right. I had to put this in there too, since it was sort of a part of the group. So
yeah, I did this art as I can't remember if it was for your birthday or for Christmas. I think it was your birthday, or maybe it been Father's Day.
Might have been Father's Day or my birthday.
But my brother and I went in we got him a shirt with this design. So I'd made the design to then create the shirt.
Oh, awesome. Cool. That's awesome.
And yeah, so each part represents a member of the party. So
nice.
Obviously the demon being the tiefling,
right.
All that kind of stuff.
That's awesome. Awesome work. Okay, so that's the last of the pictures. Yeah, awesome work, both you guys. Van, do you have anything that you want to like mention that anything you're doing, lately or anything you want to push?
I'm gonna have a pretty quiet next couple of months, just recuperating. I make a lot of artwork for gifts for Christmas, so that's kind of like my next goal. So if you're interested in my work, feel free to check out my page on Instagram. If you have any questions, let me know. But I just like it when people check it out. So yeah.
Awesome.
And well, can you remind folks what your Instagram handle is, just in case somebody might have missed it earlier?
Absolutely. It is artwork_of_Van Williamson. And if you go through Starboy Station, occasionally he'll tag me and stuff. So that's an easy way to find me if you have issues with that.
Cool.
But yeah, thank you.
Okay, what about you, Joel? What you got, man? What you got coming next?
I need to get back to world building. I was in Fig mode for so long, and I kind of lost my mojo because I stopped doing anything. I stopped making anything like world related. So I'm trying to kickstart that and get back into that.
Yeah, I totally get that. I've actually been moving some stuff around just to try to get some different motivation to get back into it. Also, I'm just going to mention again, since we're at the end here, if you guys want to send 5 pics of Figtober that are your favorites, send them to my Instagram message. And so just send them to me if you want. And like I said, next week we will show them off here. And so, I'll send a message out sometime before next weekend, just as a reminder. I know people are busy and stuff, but anyway, so hit me up if you want to have 5 of them shown on here.
Awesome.
What about Bob? What about yourself? What you got going on?
So I've got to get myself back to work on a video project and get it finished up before Thanksgiving. So be busy with that, and yeah, that's about it for me. Just that and the day job.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you guys both for coming on the show tonight.
Thank you.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah, no problem. I definitely wanted to get you on and talk about Figtober and show off some of your stuff. And so, like I said, I'm appreciative that you guys took the time to come on. And hopefully we can do this again next year. Hopefully Figtober next year will be bigger than this.
I'm sure it will.
We can make it bigger.
Yeah, thanks for having us on, and thank you to everyone who participated in Figtober. It's fun that how it grew from this challenge between a son and his dad into something greater. So I really appreciate the people that took the opportunity to show off their creativity. It was awesome, really awesome.
Yeah, it was a lot of people did a lot of good work, and so I'm kind of wanting to showcase that on there. And so, if people don't send pictures anyway next week, I'll probably just post some of the ones that I thought were super cool anyway. And so we'll have a good representation of what a lot of people did. But anyway, we are we're going to go ahead and wrap it up. So thank you guys again for coming on the show, and we'll see. Thank you, chat, for coming in, and thanks for the people that are watching it later. We appreciate you.
And if you like what you saw tonight, then feel free to hit that like button. And if you want notifications of future stuff coming up, hit the subscribe.
Yeah. But anyway, so you guys have a good rest of the weekend, and we'll see you next time.
Bye, everyone.
All right.